If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI at kw.com.
Get ready, get set for the best movie and pop culture talk in the universe. It's The Good Brothers on Mercado Airwaves with your hosts, Alex Mercado and Mike Mercado.
How's it going, y'all? This is Alex, and the little voices in my head are saying this is Mike, and we are the Good Brothers.
What's going on, good brother? How you doing?
Not much. We got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of fun trailers, a movie preview, and so much more.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got a lot of things we got to hit into. Why don't we jump into what we're going to go see in just a couple of hours? Deadpool 2. We finally got to it.
Came fast, right?
Yeah, that's what the Avengers would do to you, all that hype for that. So before we get into the rest of the show, why don't we give a little idea? What did your initial thoughts about Deadpool 1, the original Deadpool? We didn't have a show back then, so when you watched that movie, looking back at the marketing, what are your thoughts about the original Deadpool?
Well, my little voice is reminding me how much I loved it. I remember us watching it and having a great experience with it, because we're nerds enough to know Deadpool. We weren't nerd enough where he was our favorite, but we were nerd enough to know, he killed the universe, and he's the guy that talks to the camera, and he has a pretty decent video game with Wolverine, and he fought the Hawk and got his head cut off, but lived. And obviously, sadly,
he's in a horrible movie.
The X-Men Origins movie, but we had so much fun with it. I love that movie. It's one of the, not only enjoyable summer movies, because that's underselling it, but it's just such a good, rated R, superhero movie. Without it, we don't get Logan.
It's the best Ryan Reynolds movie from top to bottom.
The Proposal, so relax there, Mike.
You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And is that the Kevin Smith movie?
That's not even close to the Kevin Smith movie. You're thinking of Adam Sandler.
No,
it's the one with Sandra Bullock.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's a Kevin Smith movie that he directed where he's telling his daughter the story about how he met his which of the three women is her mother, and how he met him.
I'm interested now.
Yeah, it's very good. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll look it up right now. As we look it up, hold on.
This is Mike's inner Deadpool voice, by the way, saying all this about these romantic movies. This isn't real Mike and Alex, people. This is our inner Paul, so don't judge us off The Proposal, okay? Because it's a classic. It's a beautiful movie.
Okay, it is.
I wonder what you typed in there, because it seemed like a long set. I feel like you typed in the movie plot to get what it was.
Yeah, I'm looking. I put Kevin Smith and Ryan Reynolds together, and nothing came up yet.
Did you make up a movie? Is your inner craziness already going so bad? You're breaking the fourth wall. I think Mike's gone insane, people. Talking to you, audience.
Hold on, he's made a lot of movies. Give me 1 second. Okay. Just Friends is a good movie, by the way.
Again, so I don't know if Deadpool is Ryan Reynolds' best friend. He has a lot of good romantic comedies in there, so, let's just take it easy on the Canadian there.
I might have made it up.
He might have made it up, people. Are you thinking of a different actor than Kevin Smith?
No, it's
or
for
Ryan
sure.
Reynolds?
It's for sure Ryan Reynolds.
Are you sure it's not Matthew McConaughey?
No, it's for sure.
Ryan Gosling, maybe?
No, it's definitely
You're not
Ryan
the best for
Reynolds.
romantic movies.
He was in Scrubs? I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that. Now I got to go. Nah, thanks, Mike. Now I got to go rewatch Scrubs to see him.
It was definitely after.
I'm pretty sure that's Brandon Fraser, too, Mike. God, you were just all over the place with these actors today.
Definitely maybe.
I don't know. I haven't even seen that one yet.
Yes, definitely maybe. 2008.
Damn, he didn't make it.
Yes, I did find it. Definitely maybe.
That's 10 years ago.
Yes, definitely maybe. Directed by Adam Brooks, not even fucking Kevin Smith. That's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah, probably. Okay, so you made up half the movie.
Yes, but it's essentially what's great about that movie is it has all the Ryan Reynolds isms, and there's the reason why Deadpool works for Ryan Reynolds, and it's one of those
you just knew it was the perfect movie for him. He's got such a unique personality that's just, and look, there's nobody to compare it to. Like, people want to say, oh, Chris Pratt and, Chris Pine's like, there's nobody. There's nobody like Ryan Reynolds. He's one of a kind type of dude who sells his own type of movie, has his own type of shtick, and, it could have gotten annoying. Like, if you look at it, what's funny is, like, look at Van Wilder with Ryan Reynolds, and look at
good fucking movie.
But then look at Not Another Teen Movie with Chris Evans.
Not a good movie.
But it's funny how these guys could have been totally gone down that rabbit hole, and they kind of did for a little while, and really solidified themselves of all things the superhero genre, but in a way where Ryan Reynolds went down the comedic way and found his niche. Chris Evans, who was in a lot of funny movies, as Captain America, has the boyish charm in it. It's just so funny how they both just found their dream spots, and Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, and not that garbage that we got in Wolverine Origins, but like what he did in Deadpool and the work he did, like the behind the scenes work, that he was pushing his movie for a decade, and that he was the one writing the scripts. He was the one putting the pieces together with T.J. Miller, and what he did with the director, like bringing these people in. And I think that's something you'll hear about Deadpool too. Is like it's not necessarily the same team that was brought in. But remember when the leaked footage came out? Where it was him sitting on the top of the highway.
It's the scene. It's the first scene, basically.
But
it's almost the exact scene,
and
honestly.
It was a test footage,
and we
great.
loved it. Like, I remember I was freaking out about
it.
it. But I think it goes back to Ryan Reynolds we were talking about. He's just got such a... It's hard to describe, because you see him in some of these roles he takes. Like, this is the end where he's a nymph. Like, or even Ted, where he's just Ryan Reynolds being gay. Yeah. Like, he's got such a great sense of Family Guy.
All the times he's in Family Guy.
He's so okay with, like, this sense of humor toward him and about him, that it's so charming to watch. You're like,
he likes to get made fun of.
He gets it. Like, he gets how to do humor, because he doesn't take it too personal. He doesn't take it as an insult. He takes it as just good old fun. And, like, there's something about all these roles, like Waiting. His dry sense of delivery is just so classic. Like, we're going to compare people to Ryan Reynolds in the future.
And it's funny because he hit our generation.
Oh, that's what it was. He's a better Dane Cook. He's a talented Dane Cook. And I love Dane Cook.
Yeah, but, like, he found a way to be considered a good actor. He's reliable. He's funny. He's charming. He
sells a little.
He sells. And, like, but he's a selling point. He may not be The Rock where he's the movie, but, like, Ryan Reynolds is a plus. Whenever you see Ryan Reynolds on a poster, on a movie credit, it gives the movie some credit.
Safe House
with
Denzel.
A lot
better than it should have been. And it was actually a good movie.
When he's buried,
Buried.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
That's Buried.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a guy who, by himself, should have gotten some award love-ish, like recognition. Yeah. Like, Ryan Reynolds is great. Now,
Amityville Horror.
I mean, like, that movie's
not great, but he's the best part of the movie. He's the only good part of the movie.
And I guess what I'm saying is, like, Ryan Reynolds is one of these dudes where, and I think a fair comparison, I think a comparison people want to say is Matthew McConaughey. You
hear that, yeah.
And I think it's kind of bullshit, and this is why. I love Matthew. I think he's a great actor. I loved him in True Detective.
Oscar-winning, Emmy-winning.
Amazing. But there is something you can tell the difference between Ryan Reynolds and Matthew McConaughey. It's this. Ryan Reynolds doesn't have a coast mode. Ryan Reynolds is 100% in every movie. Matthew McConaughey isn't. There's times where
he's a natural. Ryan Reynolds is a natural. Matthew McConaughey has to turn it on or off.
Ryan Reynolds comes on, and that he is always 100%. He is always on point. He will always give you his best. Kind of like The Rock. They are just always on their best. The movie may not be great. It may not win any awards, but he'll show up.
Channing Tatum is kind of like a Ryan Reynolds,
becoming that,
where it's more of a dry, like, he takes it. He's not taking himself too seriously.
But he shows up every single day to work.
He's also a sexy man god who can literally do whatever he wants in this world.
We're finding out
for some reason it's funny.
Right, and we're finding that out with Chris Pratt right now.
We're in the middle of that, yeah.
We can find out whether he makes that turn or not. Like, it could go one way or it could go the other. So it's a credit to Ryan Reynolds to be able to just get to this point. And moving on to actually Deadpool 2, you're excited about it? Like,
I'm excited because one, like, let's just get it right there. Break the fourth wall again. The reviews are great. The reviews are like, hey, if you like part one, you're gonna love part two, and it's got one of the best post-credit scenes ever.
I've heard
simple as that.
I've heard essentially the same. I've heard again the gambit of from good to great. I've heard as long as you enjoyed the first one, especially. I think the biggest thing I was worried about is I didn't get a drop off of like
Caddyshack to Caddyshack 2.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it could have been so much worse with a new team and a sequel. And even like a sort of like Apocalypse compared to Days of Future Past, where like that was a little too big of a drop off, even though it wasn't bad. To know that this movie's like, no, guys, like it's not the classic part one was, because it's part one. It's classic.
It's a classic.
But guys, this is really, 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 really good. Like, you're gonna love this movie. And I already know we're gonna be seeing the theater knee slapping the whole damn time, hitting each other like
and like there's gonna be great, there's gonna be great inappropriate humor.
I'm excited talking about the jokes we might get,
Yeah.
and then once you get those jokes, you're gonna be like, wow, like I'm so happy. Like, it's a comedy and a superhero movie. Like, it's amazing.
So when we have some fun with this, though, I mean, obviously we think the movie's gonna be fun. We've heard some great things. We're gonna give our few review next week, as well as our preview to the Solo movie next week. So next week's gonna be a really jam-packed.
That might be more of a discussion.
It's gonna be very interesting. So why don't we have some more fun, though? Let's talk about the future of Deadpool and X-Men. Let's get into a little bit of that. Let's go into the assumption before we go into the whatever the merger is, which was whatever company. Do we get X Factor?
I think we get
X-Force.
X-Force for sure.
Yeah.
I think this might be if Disney gets the deal. Which
I don't
think. No, if I'm guess right now, we're just gonna play dry guess. We're not going into detail.
Yeah.
No, because Disney's not getting Fox, so we're gonna get Deadpool 3, but it's gonna be a lot longer in the ways because we're gonna get X-Force. I think X-Force is for sure gonna happen, but I think Disney's not getting Fox. Like, it might get over it. I know you want Fantastic Four. They're not getting it. We might get Silver Surfer. You get Silver Surfer. They might get a deal. They're not getting Fox.
Here's
though.
the thing. I mean, I guess we could talk about it just for a little bit. It's just great convo. I don't want to hedge my bets on any side of the fence, because when it comes to these so much money and these businesses
and jobs being lost,
like I don't want to say it's gonna go, because it could go either way.
and neither way is honestly good, because you don't want a company getting bought out by a bigger company ever.
So,
like, you want variety, you want people to keep like separation in jobs.
In a perfect world,
it's gonna happen.
In the perfect world that this happens, Comcast, and they do a great job and they get these properties, but they're able to make trades, they're able to make deals where it's like, you could get certain things back, they get certain things.
Shared universes like that. We might get to that point.
I mean, I think with all that in mind, though, like, I wonder, my thing is with that in mind, like, if you're Fox, right, and you're putting everything in hold essentially because you don't know what's going on with this deal, what does that mean for X-Men? Because we know we have the New Mutants coming out, we know we have the Dark Phoenix coming out.
They're in the can already. Like, they're done per se. Like, they got to do a couple of reshoots, but I think going forward, beside those, like, that's gonna be the end of X-Men for a little bit. I think it's X-Force. I think X-Force is kind of your future. Like, we can add some random characters. We get Ryan Reynolds. I hear Gambit's coming. Like, Gambit's the next first member. Like, those rumors are Channing Tatum are filming. He might necessarily be filming his own movie. He might be filming for X-Force. So we don't know.
So let's go down to that then. Okay. Would you be surprised if Dark Phoenix and New Mutants doesn't come out?
No, they have to come out. They've gone too far.
So you think those movies for sure come out? They're in the books.
I think for what we need to determine is how much money Deadpool makes this weekend. We'll determine if Fox says, screw it, we're making so much money, we're going to push an X-Force. This deal ain't going to go through for a year anyway. Or if they're like, you know what, it made money, but it didn't make that ball-busting money we needed. We're probably going to pause for a little bit and see where this all goes.
So, in your opinion, do we get an X-Force or do we get a Deadpool 3 first?
Oh, X-Force for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
so, with that in mind, who is the driving force of this universe? Is it Josh Brolin and Cable with Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, Domino, and some of the characters we're going to see in Deadpool 2, along with the X-Men, Mega Sonic, Death Warhead,
Mega Sonic, Teenage Warhead?
Like, is that the team? What is the team? What is their Avengers?
I think it's Ryan Reynolds. I think it comes down to Ryan Reynolds.
Is he the Robert Downey Jr.? Obviously,
he's he's probably more their Chris. No, I guess he's a little bit of both. He's kind of play both roles, because I don't see Josh Brolin really being. Josh Brolin to me is more going to be like your Mark Ruffalo, your Scarlett Johansson. Like, they're so important, but they're not your two. I think Ryan Reynolds is going to have to take that and be the one.
Well, Josh Brolin legitimizes whatever project he does.
I just feel like the character of Cable doesn't carry it like that.
Yeah.
And like, again, he's like your Hawkeye. Like, I love Jeremy Renner. I love him, and I need him in the movie. Or Scarlett Johansson even. Like, I need her in the movie. But it's not my Captain America. It's not my Iron Man. I think he plays both those roles.
This is something that I've been thinking and just kind of popped into it. It's like, we're wrestling fans. Like, we'll talk about some wrestling in a little bit, but like,
We just fought for 30 minutes about it.
But let me ask you this. Wrestling is all about dream moments, dream matchups, dream scenarios. Yeah. And I think Marvel and the MCU has done a great job of like, you and I could sit here and do an hour episode of like, what are the scenarios and matchups and team ups we want to see in Avengers 4?
Well, like the original Avengers movie with just something simple as like the shield and the laser going off the shield. You're like, that's
Great
a dream
example.
match moment.
Think about that. Now, this is the point that I think every universe has suffered in now. And the DC,
Oh, God, that's a thing still.
But think about it like, name a moment like that. Name a moment where Batman and Superman are with each other and like
they got one. They get one, and that's from
like,
Comic-Con trailer, and that's before we knew the context of the movie. And then once you get the context of the movie, it's not as good.
Yeah, sure.
But the whole, do you believe you will?
Yeah, like
that. I'll give them one. I'm not going to be an asshole. Well, they get one.
Sure.
And that kind of got ruined because now we realize what it was part of.
Like, I think how much of that too is like people,
Wonder Woman, I guess, coming out.
No, like how much of the stuff is loved or how much of it is mocked. That's the point. Like how much of it is like universally these things are loved in the MCU. There's a lot of people who don't like it, obviously, because people just don't like things in it. But what I'm saying is like, there's no moment I'm waiting for in any other superhero.
So a future moment, you're saying, not past.
So my point is, it's like, I'm not sitting here clamoring to see Deadpool and Wolverine together. There's not a moment that I'm sitting there saying like, I need to see this moment in this universe.
I kind of do.
Because you're a nerd and you're contrarian to me,
Yeah.
but like my point is, it's like
it's just because of like the whole backing of it.
But like think about it, like you could right now in your mind when I say Avengers 4, something pops in your head where you're like, man, I really want to see Groot and just a random superhero working together, and like it just pops in your head and it gets you excited for it. You don't think about that in these other universes, especially in the X-Men universe. You don't sit there and think about like, I cannot wait to see Deadpool crack a joke on Cyclops. It's like you don't think about these things. When it happens, it might be great, but that's my point. It's like X-Force is going to be awesome. That could just be called literally Deadpool 3 X-Force, and it would make more money, it would be more successful, and it would still kind of be the driving point of the universe, opposed to X-Force being the moment of we get to see these team-ups and these moments of these heroes in this universe. I'm like, that's not what this universe is about, and B, I'm not really clamoring to see what team ups you're trying to do, opposed to like, man, Avengers 4, I cannot wait to see Captain Marvel and Rocket work together.
Captain Marvel?
It's just so random, but like it's a real thing.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@kw.com.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves.
You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex.
Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves.
Oh, no, I get it. Like, I agree with you in a certain sense. I think we're hyping up the Marvel a little bit because they've kind of done it all. I think the only thing for Marvel that really gets me excited is when we finally get the reunion of Captain Tony. I think I'm, like, emotional, like, already got I'm like, okay, this is going to be emotional, guys. Like, let's get ready for this. I, like, hug someone, hold someone's hand. X-Men, if you have to force one, maybe, like, McAvoy's Professor X meeting Deadpool, but again, there's no legit one. DC at this point, there's really they did Justice League. I go back to saying I think they've had moments, like to say Wonder Woman's moment coming out the trench wasn't one of those top ones.
Oh yeah, her.
But going forward, no, like literally you did Justice League and Darkseid, you ruined. Like we don't want Darkseid.
Name a great moment with like that Wonder Woman. That whole Wonder Woman movie is great, but like name a moment that has to deal with Wonder Woman and Superman with each other. That you're like, yo, that was...
No, you're right. No.
You know, like, that doesn't exist. So, and even in the X-Men universe of the 3 movies, like, there was never a point where you were sitting there being like, I can't wait to see Quicksilver and Magneto go together.
No, but
It
old
was cool when
Professor
you saw
X
it.
and Magneto, like I think
But
those were pretty good.
I think that's just because that's James
Hey,
McAvoy
you
and
do
Michael
what you
Fassbender.
gotta do, just
That's what
'cause they
I'm
got the great
saying.
actors.
They got great chemistry and they had great segment. But what I'm talking about is like that's more we're being treated with two great actors that just so happen to play. Because Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart the same thing.
Well, we're arguing two great characters with Captain America and Iron Man compared to two great actors playing great characters. I think it's kind of almost the same coin, different sides, honestly.
At the end of the day, dude, like, is anybody excited though to see Cable and Deadpool really team up? We're excited for the movie, but that was not a
I think we
clamoring
gotta
dream
wait
moment.
to see. No, it wasn't a kind of dream moment. I think we gotta wait till after the movie because you can walk out and Mike can come out and say, "Yo, people are gonna be hyped for X Force."
That's not what I'm
So
talking.
we'll
Of
see.
course, maybe, but as of right now, in this world that we're living in, there's not a X-Men universe character team up matchup that we're like, yeah, we're clamoring to see that because unfortunately for them, even though they're originators, we've seen the X-Men teams already all team up. So we're not waiting for any moment to be like, I can't wait for Storm to finally join the X-Men. I can't wait to see.
No,
like
because at
those
this point
moments
you
don't
need to
exist
reboot
anymore.
it. You need to reboot it at this point because then we can get like, Wolverine, Cyclops, and Storm, like these new actors. Yeah.
Unfortunately for these other companies, the benefit that Marvel has right now is that they have the benefit of we just want to see moments now. We just want to see team ups. We want to see things we haven't seen before. We want to see characters we haven't seen.
You're not worried about the MCU moving forward? Because, like, I'm not excited for Captain Marvel. Like, she's fine. Like, I mean, I'm not pumped for her. Like, even though I know I have to see the movie to get to the next part, but I'm like, I am so not excited for Captain Marvel. Like, I'm probably
that's
less
fine.
excited for Captain Marvel than I am Aquaman.
And you literally talk shit on Doctor Strange, which a lot of people love. So it's like
he was dope in the movie, though.
And like, there's plenty of movies that aren't good. Like, to say you're not excited about Captain Marvel is kind of par for the course for a lot of these average MCU movies. A lot of people weren't excited for Ant-Man. A lot of people weren't excited for Thor.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's cool. A lot of people weren't excited for Thor Ragnarok. It was great. Like, a lot of people weren't excited for the first Guardians. It's like a lot of people assume things.
I'm just curious why I'm not excited. Like, why am I excited for Ant-Man and the Wasp? But why does Captain Marvel not get me? Like, why am I more excited to see the Wasp? And I thought maybe it was like I was a horrible part of this female thing. I'm like, no, it's just I don't know why. Maybe because Captain Marvel is like maybe she turns into Iron Man, and it's like, yo, I wasn't excited about Iron Man because it was just Iron Man, but now she's my favorite hero at walking out.
I think Brie Larson's a great actress. I think Carl Danvers is a cool character, but if it was Carl Danvers, it would just be another overpowered superhero. People are like, oh, well, here comes another overpowered superhero. That I think it's a boring character. Yeah. I think the lore is dope.
Let me get a trailer.
But like, I'm excited because it's Brie Larson and it's the culmination of a series. But like, no, that's what I'm talking about. It's like they've earned that. They've earned that right. Where like you in particular, like everybody who watches shows knows you're excited in the sense of like the grand scheme of things you're excited, but maybe in an individual episode you're not as excited for Captain Marvel as you would be for this next movie.
Well, I don't give Marvel the credit. Like, I give Marvel all the credit in the world, but at the same time, I'm like, no, like, I'm going to judge you off of what have you done for me lately.
And they just released Avengers Infinity War,
which
is...
yeah,
so
that's
so
fine.
Point, and she's literally the last thing
now
you
I'm
see.
looking at Ant-Man and Wasp.
So, and the point is, they get the benefit of the doubt of the Wasp. The Wasp is a character we've never actually seen. Like, we've seen her, but we've never seen that version of the character, and we're just like, hell yeah, we can't wait to see what she does. There's no other company that's making superhero movies that has that benefit now. And it's either because the other ones have struck out, or
it's a monopoly at this point.
But you're saying that as if it's a bad thing. They've just
no,
done
I'm
it
just
right.
saying, like,
they've
not
done it
worth
right.
stating facts. Yeah, like,
they've done it correctly.
At this point,
we wouldn't have to say this if Fox wouldn't have screwed up Fantastic Four 3 different times. Like, we could be excited about getting a Galactus, a Silver Surfer. You know, we could be excited about these things, except for the fact that they've done it and they screwed them up.
Oh yeah, but it's also nerds are an easy audience. You do one right thing, we'll be back on board. You give us a good Fantastic Four, we'll forgive the other 3, honestly.
Of course.
And that's where I get mad about, like, you. I'm like...
What's the definition of insanity, Alex?
You keep doing the same thing, constant, expecting different results. That's what sucks about you and me, is we're like, nah, screw you, Fox. Well, you know what? They gave us that one good Fantastic Four. I'm going to let the other 3 go, Fox. I got you.
Except
and they
what
shouldn't.
The possibility that would actually happen.
I mean, it's Comcast Fox.
I think it'll be Disney Fox, so we'll see.
You're the worst.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves.
You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex.
Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado2333.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@kw.com.
So why don't we go on, Alex? Some big news happened in the city of Chicago. I don't know about you, but are you all in?
Nah.
No, none of us are because it's sold
They
out.
sold out in 10 seconds, so we'll buy tickets when they're scalping them outside.
For all of you who don't know, in the wrestling world, in the independent circuit, Cody Rhodes, also known as Cody on the independent circle, formerly of WWE, along with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Marty Scurll, Adam, Hangman
Let's just
Page,
go like those Bullet Club.
the Bullet Club, also known AKA the Bullet Club, essentially made their own big events called All In, and it was between a bunch of different cities: Vancouver, Chicago, Philadelphia, New York.
Why were you like me and you're like, it's gonna be Chicago?
I knew
Is
it was
that
gonna be
just you and me?
Chicago.
Like I knew it was gonna be Chicago because like it's such a good wrestling town.
It's a great wrestling town on Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
The big reason too, though, and this is just my personal thing, the reason why I think Chicago is the perfect place for things like that and WWE events that aren't WrestleMania, it's in the middle of the country. If you get on the right time of season, it's perfect weather, perfect airport, perfect hotels,
good downtown,
good downtown,
35 minutes away.
Media's perfect.
Pizza.
It literally is the perfect venue for any major event. And along with that, it has major suburbs that are very close to the major city.
Yeah, lots of hotels, lots of nice areas.
You know, they're going to tell you this is in Chicago, Illinois. It's actually in Hoffman Estates.
Right next to Rosemont.
Right next.
Yeah,
it's at the
really
Sears
good
Center.
area. Yeah.
So it's sold out 10,000 seats, Alex. Like, I tried getting them. It was really hard for me to get on the portal. Like, they were sold out by the time I was able to go through.
A ton of people. Like I'm like, usually I'll be the first to jump on Mikey. Like, did you really try?
Yeah,
every person within 30 minutes we're in a waiting room.
Yeah.
They're sold out. Like you're gonna have to wait now to buy your tickets. Like you're gonna have to pay. Now you're paying full price tickets, people. Like people went out there and bought 20 tickets. You're gonna pay full price now. And guess what? Probably be worth it.
But let's,
CM Punk's coming back. It's
thank
okay.
you. I just wanted to talk to you about is CM Punk coming back at All In?
Yup. He's making an appearance at least.
I don't know, man. Here's the reason why I don't think it's going to happen. Because we want it to happen so bad.
No, believe. This isn't WWE, though.
This
isn't WWE.
Now,
here's a place where dreams come
the
true.
thing. I know this isn't Saturday sports stuff, but he does have a fight coming up at the United Center. And I heard one of those shows that we listened
to. What's
to.
the fight, though? What date's the
June
fight?
13th, I believe. June 1st or June 13th. So
Okay,
it's obviously before All In. The point is, though, it all depends. If he wins, he's worth more than he's ever been worth before. So why would he sign in to do anything right now? Why would he sign any contract if he doesn't know what's going to happen post-fight? Imagine right now what he's worth. But imagine he walks into the United Center and gets a knockout win in the UFC.
Which he will.
He won't. He's gonna get put to sleep.
Personality.
But shout out to him for being a badass to get into that fucking octagon. Like that's a badass G move.
I do it too. Sign me, Dana.
Yeah, but I think if he wins, he's in. If he loses, he's in. I think he's gonna be all in. I think he's gonna be all in. But it all my honest thing is, I just don't know how much he's gonna get paid. I think if I was on his corner, I would wait post UFC. If we won the fight, I would run the independent scene. I would try to get one more fight with the UFC, one more payday on a pay-per-view, and I would try to get paid a little bit more on All In. But for anybody saying like, well, he's going to be in Chicago that weekend. No shit, he lives in Chicago.
He lives
right
here.
Like, no shit. Like, yeah, like they live right here. You could watch.
Where else is he going to be?
You can see him, running around Lakeshore Drive. Like, yeah, no shit.
The Blackhawks game if they didn't suck.
I'm pretty sure I saw him at the NLCS game. Like, he's around the city.
Hey, Mike, did you go to the NLCS game? Did you just drop it?
It was
there?
really cool. Clayton
Didn't they
Kershaw,
lose?
Kyle Hendricks.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they lost.
They won the World Series that year, though. I saw them.
Lost that game.
I saw them get their rings.
Okay, people, let's settle this argument on the internet real quick.
We did. We had this argument
I went to opening day where the first time the World Series champions were in the building compared to Mike 2 days later for the banner. I saw the rings.
And-
I saw the trophy. End of discussion.
And they got I know you went to see the banner and the trophy. I got to see them go out in their.
I went to the first game. If you're not first,
and
you're
got
last. Yeah,
their
They
beautiful
won.
World Series.
Like
ring.
you weren't in that building when the World Series champions were announced to the world. You were at home.
No, I got.
You got to
it
go a
was-
few days later after I already pissed on the floor.
when it was
That's cute,
cemented
dude.
and
That's
they got
cute.
their rings, which officially
probably went to
made
a loss, too.
Cemented they won that game.
Oh, they won my
Yeah.
game, but in the ninth inning with a great Anthony Rizzo hit. So which is better, people?
fine.
My glorious day won with a ninth inning, bottom of the ninth win, or Mike's average game they probably won by 2, and it was already 3 days later. All the Pistons on
Stroke
the
Alex
seats.
Vigo on Facebook. Like us on Mercado Airwaves.
You really should, people. That's an option now.
Alex, we also got a really dope trailer, Bohemian Rhapsody.
I was worried. Weren't you going to be a little? Because we're big nerds, and I love seeing the common man watch this, and I'm like, it must be nice to just watch this trailer because we had to deal with the casting, the firing of Bryan Singer,
Having one movie in our head opposed to the other.
and then they're not going to do this story. They're going to do this story. They might do it, and to get the trailer and be like, yo, that was amazing. I'm like, thank you, Jesus, because now I can jump on with everyone else and be like. First of all, I'm like, guys, this could have gone really bad really
Oscar
fast.
bait movie?
The release date makes it seem like it, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and that worried me because we could have easily gotten this movie in a month.
Yeah.
Like All Eyes on Me last
I
year.
thought it was going to be a July movie.
Like All Eyes on Me
Yeah,
last year.
yeah.
We're like, hey, the actor's good, but the movie sucks. And now we're like, no, this movie might be
What are the
legit.
chances the movie is horrible, but he is just that good?
If he's that good, he's gonna get he'll
I
win
think
the
so.
Oscar then.
I think so,
But I
yeah.
think the movie's good enough where maybe he's gonna be great. I feel like, but like that movie, you're telling me if that movie's just that bad, then he'd have to be Gary Oldman mixed with Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal Lecter, good for us to release that movie that late just for him.
Well,
Yes.
you know my theory about Darkest Hour. Like, I love Gary
The
Oldman in
fucking
the movie.
movie.
I didn't think the movie was great if it wasn't for Gary Oldman. Like, that's his
Oh,
movie.
well, yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
yeah.
but I think that essentially that could be this. Like, if he's great in this movie, the movie's gonna be great because he's great. And I wonder. See, here's the thing: is Bryan Singer getting credit for this movie?
No, he's not getting credit. Because apparently they did actually have to go back and film a lot.
That's
of
what I
different
want to
stuff.
know. It's like
No,
so
it wasn't a Ron Howard polish.
Do you think this movie was going to be Oscar baity with Bryan Singer originally?
No, I think it'll be a July All Eyes on Me. Like, again, just recently we got a movie where it's like, yo, the Tupac story with an amazing actor who everyone says performance was great, and then you realize that's all that's good. And the movie was so bad it didn't matter. So I think this movie has to be somewhat on that level of like Rami Malek's Oscar worthy, and the movie's good enough, possibly Oscar worthy, where we're gonna be like, okay, I can't wait. And it's Queen, dude. Like, they got all the music.
Yeah, that's what I'm really excited
One of the
for.
greatest bands of all time. Come on.
Now, what's funny is
Ugh.
since seeing that trailer, it's hard to think of Sacha Baron Cohen in it.
And he would have killed it. And
would've
he would have low-key
killed
killed it.
Yeah.
But, like, yeah, he would have killed it. And I know that sucks because that was his baby project. He really wanted that. It's fine, though, because Rami Malek is an amazing young actor. Like, he's real good. Like, he's not like... I always thought when I saw him in picture, I'm like, he's a little creep. Like, he just plays him. No, he's actually, like, a really great actor.
Yeah,
like,
he's very
surprise,
deep.
surprise. The guy in Mr. Robot with all the enemies is a great actor, guys.
would've thought, huh?
Who would... It's like saying Sterling K. Brown's good at his job. What?
No way.
Who would have thought that, all those trophies later?
So yeah, some very interesting stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Any other things that we didn't hit on today? What do we miss?
What's going on CW Road? I heard there was some season finales. They all got re-signed. The TV Road's been a little crazy.
So it's very interesting you bring that
CW
up.
got all their shows back. Another season.
Yeah.
Fox decided to start cutting a lot of shows.
Gotham is down to one more season.
and Gotham got one more. They're going to do the full Batman.
Yeah,
They're going
full
full
Batman
transition.
Joker, like
and
full
I
Batman
feel
Joker.
like I need to watch. I feel like I got to go back and watch, but there's a lot of nonsense I don't want to watch.
I kind of here's the thing though. It's like I feel with Gotham is if you hate an episode, just go on to the next one.
Yeah, I feel like
Like-
that I'm with you. Like, if
Yeah.
I don't like the story plot, let me just move on to when it gets good.
Yeah.
Because I watched one of the Joker ones that everyone told me to watch, and you're watching, you're just like, man, I do not care about 45 minutes of this, but there's a good 30 minutes in here.
Yeah.
Or, you know what I mean? Like, split it up.
So, I guess the big one is that Last Man Standing comes back, kind of the resurgence of shows like Roseanne and that type of show where it's like I was explaining this to some people in our family where, you know, not to get political, but it's the perfect example of counterculture stuff where it's like in a world where we're trying to have so much diversity and we're trying to, what people feel is pushing agendas. These are the type of shows that are very much blue collar, middle of America type of shows.
Oh, like Last Man Standing, they canceled.
That's
They
what
brought it back.
right.
Like these shows, like Roseanne, like they need to be around because like we can't be hypocrites saying, well, we need our Blackishes and Fresh Off the Boats and Goldbergs. Well, then you do need your Last Man Standing. You do need a Roseanne where it's like, you got to be fair, people. Like, it's not like these shows are sprouting hate.
Right.
But they're sprouting their opinions, and you have to be
it's hard.
decent enough. It is.
It is hard. Like, look, I get it. Like, when I see something like Brooklyn Nine-Nine get canceled and then Last Man Standing being brought up, the only thing I think of was, like, again, another thing in America where, what we feel is like a more creative, liberal voice is being taken away, and a more old school, like, down to quote unquote down earth conservative stuff is being brought back. But
it's
like
more of a modern show for me. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine is so modern and or it speaks to us because we're like gay black chief. That's normal. Bisexual, Jew. Like it makes sense to us. We're like, no, this is the common man.
But like I get it though too. It's like middle of America, Ohio mom would rather watch Tim Allen's Last Man Standing than Brooklyn Nine-Nine with Adam Sandberg.
They don't want to see Andy Samberg be like. They don't want to see Terry Crews be feminine. They don't want to see a gay black police chief who's straight edged and is the most straight man there is. But good for NBC. They passed on it earlier. The day after they announced, like that was a huge mistake. Like they announced years after, like we made it. We dropped the ball on that, and they picked it back up. They're going to get at least a 6th season.
And like I get it. Like and here's the thing, TV is so personal to people. Because you spend so much time. Let's say you watch a 23-season show, whether it's a half an hour or an hour. You spend half a year each year for, let's say, 3 seasons, 2 seasons, with these characters, with these investments, and sometimes it just goes away. And like, I can see why people get upset. I can see why people get
I don't like the reasoning Fox gave because they were like, "Oh, we only have 2 hours and we really want to put." Their little reason was like, "We want to push Bob's Burger to a certain slot and we have this other show we want to push." And I'm like, "Well, okay, I know that's the business answer, but like, you've had Bob's Burgers for 9 seasons, y'all. Like, that's not the reason you're going to decide to get rid of
Bob's
one
Burgers
show and keep
Bob's
the other
Burgers.
one.
Like that,
you're not gonna if you don't watch because it's very culture relevant, I think. Mm-hmm. But I think it's kind of Futurama where it's like, it's not The Simpsons, it's not Family Guy. But it's very good and it's got its core, hardcore audience. Like you said, it's Bob's Burgers. Like, you're not going to change it.
It is what it is.
Moving a time slot's not making anything new. That you're using that as a way to say, oh, we're going to do that after 10 seasons.
And like, I think like Last Man on Earth was a very creative show. I used to watch a couple episodes on Sunday. Got canceled. And it's like, you get it though. It's like a lot of these shows, you understand what happens, but then something like Lethal Weapon, they lose their main actor because he's a crazy psycho.
William Scott coming in, Stifler.
Comes, but here's the thing, though: it's like, how is it possible that Lethal Weapon gets another season in the middle of the week on Fox?
That's actually a really good show.
But how? Why? How is it possible they can invest and they can push and they can be so creative with a show like that, but like be so absent-minded on so many other projects and so many other things that just don't work?
But like, I feel like that it's just a time thing because back in the day, Fox was able to put shows. That 70s show, The Simpsons Family, those were during the week when we were a kid. Like that wasn't that 70s show was a Wednesday at 7:30.
It became a Thursday night.
But guess what? Because
show.
of these NBC, ABC shows, these NCIS, the CSIs, like it changed, and it's not about 30 minutes. Because during the week, your time slot is we need 2 really good. We need these Empires, these Gothams, these X-Files which got canceled, Prison Break which got another season. Like we need these hour-long dramas, Lucifer's, like.
Which I canceled.
I get it. They're going to bring it back. They're going to Constantine it because people were already pissed off, and it was the highest review. It was the highest viewed series, quote unquote, finale there was, and it was a cliffhanger. Mm-hmm. So they know they're bringing it back. But I think it's just crazy. Like when we were growing up, it was 30-minute shows during the week, and then the weekend had more 30-minute shows. And now it's like no, like a 30-minute show won't survive during the week. You need these hour-long dramas with these bigger B-list actors. I don't want to say B-list, former A-listers on Fox now. And those are what you need to compete. So look at Empire, how many seasons it's gone. Never seen an episode.
But that's the thing, right? It's like up until Empire, like they were trying to find their house. Like they did not like when they lost. But think about it, like after they lost House, that's all they were trying to find, and they couldn't. Yeah, like once they lost Bones and House, like they had no idea what to do.
Yeah, Fox used to be real good.
And like they go through stages like that when they had 24. Like they've always gone through stages where like they have those hit big programs that just are slam dunks.
Take those 5 seasons. They give you a good long years. Like, they're good. Like Prison Break back in the day.
Where are we right now, though? Like, what is the show on television? People want to say it's This Is Us and Blackish and stuff, but like,
it's This Is Us. I
but
would
that's
say
more
it's the hour long.
culture relevant stuff. Like, what's the blockbuster of television right now?
I think it's all comes back to like cable's different now too. Like cable, it's more realistic. Because even like I know people it's crazy, but like even 15 years ago, a lot of people still didn't have cable. Like it was still a little more. They weren't packaging it with your internet necessarily. So you might have only got internet, and you still might only have these Fox shows. But now you can go to FX and get some of these, OJ Trials and Versace and American Horror Stories and Breaking Bad, Walking Dead. Like you get these big name shows now. So like. Beside This Is Us, I don't think there's a cultural non-game show that you're like, what's that nice solid hour a week that most people are talking about? It's This Is Us.
Right now, yep.
And it kind of fizzled out a little bit after the first season because, again, maybe it was more just a quick hit and go, like you said, instead of more of a, no, this is like Breaking Bad where we're going to talk about it.
And they just
Game of Thrones.
And they just had their biggest moment with spoiler
No spoilers.
Spoiler alert
We don't
for
watch.
This Is Us is the death of the father. So it's like we finally saw the crock pot.
Super Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we've already gotten to that peak of like the interest of that show. At least in my
SNL
opinion.
maybe recently is coming back up a little bit.
And like that's only until 2 years from now.
But that's a
whether or not
sketch
what
show.
you-
I can't
yeah.
count a sketch show. That's different.
So yeah, just some other stuff.
Fargo's
Like that.
always good.
But we got a trailer a few. I think it was 2 shows ago. Of we didn't get a chance to talk about Mayans. So officially, Mayans is ready to go.
We're gonna be talking a lot about
Very
Mayans.
excited by Mayans. So we'll see that on FX. And then, of course, for all you sports fans and obviously us being here in Chicago, Netflix 30 for 30, ESPN with permission and with participation of the Airness himself, Michael Jordan documentary of 30 for 30, 10-part docuseries of his career, his life, everything like that.
Monster of the Midway himself. Oh, sorry, that's the Bears. We'll talk about this, but I'm so excited. Like they've really made an amazing trailer. Like, God, 30 for 30s. I love 30 for 30s.
Like we're gonna find out like how big of a psychopath he is, but also the competitor, like the man. Like we're gonna find out everything about Michael Jordan. Just like I hope we really get
the legend, the myth of him.
But I almost want to break it down too. Like at this point, I want to know the dirty stuff about him. Like, and I don't want to destroy the legend. I want to know the man behind this. I wanted to be like Ric Flair, not a giant. Like I want it to be more like, look at, we will never forget the legend that he is. Let's find out the man behind the curtain. Who was he?
Guess what, guys? He's human. He made I don't think he's a monster. Like all jokes aside, we're just mess. Like he's not a terrible human being. He should be in jail.
Done some horrible
but guys,
things.
guess what? Like he's human. Like he's a human being who, guess what, made a lot of bad decisions. Who would have known a human being can make bad decisions?
Like
even
gambling
one
on
that's that
basketball.
good at basketball, right? Like that's what I'm interested in. Is like, man, like he really is just a guy, isn't he?
I would love if we find out that the reason why he was gone, he retired back in the early 90s is because he was suspended for gambling. I hope we find that out.
The worst kept secret, possibly myth.
That's what I really hope
Oh man,
for.
now I'm pumped, dude. I can't wait for that.
Well, we'll see. All right, good brother. We got anything else we got to hit up before we get out of here?
No, I think that's it. Like we're gonna have a big one next week with a review and a preview, and I guarantee more trailers are gonna be dropping. We'll keep everyone updated on anything new that comes out of Bohemian Rhapsody. Any word we might get about what was really reshot, not reshot. Predator trailer came out, looked terrible. I thought.
Yeah,
I thought it looked really bad.
It was really bad.
That was sad. We almost missed out talking about a Predator trailer. It just looked bad. New Escape movies coming out with Batista and Sylvester Stallone. That looks pretty good. I like the first one.
Pictures of Creed 2.
Production of Avengers. So, and guess what? We have no answers because the pictures make no sense.
Because he might got gray hair.
He has a flashback-ish, jigger,
man.
a scar on a wrong eye. They're back from the dead, Quicksilver.
But they all have transportation things on their hand.
Oh, time travel. Oh, my God, I can't wait.
So there's a lot of stuff. We'll do Avengers talk maybe in the next few weeks. We got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, if there's a dull week in there before that Jurassic World greatness.
Jurassic World's coming out very soon, so we're on the countdown for that. We got Solo coming up next week, and of course, Deadpool coming up in just a couple hours for us here. I think that's it, good brother. Why don't we get the hell up out of here?
Out of here.
All right, let's get out of here. All right. For the good brother himself, Alex Mercado.
Adios, muchachos.
I'm Mike Mercado. We will see you on the very next episode of The Good Brothers here on Mercado Airwaves.
Mercado Airwaves is brought to you by supporters at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves.
You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex.
Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, Mike Mercado 2333.
Thanks for joining us here on The Good Brothers, here on Mercado Airwaves.
Unhappy with your current living situation? Want to get out of your parents' house? Do you live in the Chicagoland area? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then I have the realtor just for you, Amy Lonsky with Keller Williams. Hey, this is Mike Mercado from Mercado Airwaves and Outreach Radio Chicago. When the special lady and I started looking into buying instead of renting, we only trusted one person, and that's Amy Lonsky. With a passion for real estate, Amy will put you and your family first so you can start your life in your new dream home. Contact Amy for any other inquiries at 630-550-1518. That's 630-550-1518. Or email Amy at amylonsky@kw.com. That's AIMEELONSKI@kw.com.